These fighters are delirious, delusional, a lot of them. Shakur is ducking Oshaquie shock in broad daylight, shaking my head, basically saying he gonna avoid him. He been doing this since they were at 130 pounds together, right? And somebody said, Turkey's the lapdog after the Tio fight. I'm vacating my 135-pound title and staying at 140 pounds, right? Shakur says, now I'm in the driver's seat. I'm a lapdog. So Shakur Stevenson, this is what he said. Then after you beat him, quote, he got 3 losses. He worked at McDonald's. That's the guy who gives me my Big Mac and fries. Y'all getting out of hand. Bro, a lot of these fighters are delirious like Eddie Murphy.
The bad blood came when him and Ray Ford started riding each other nuts and stuff. And instead of him staying neutral, because he in my inbox and he trying to be my friend, I don't mess with these guys. I don't talk to these guys.
Who's that? Is that who's in your inbox? Ray
Shakur would be in my inbox, man. Like last 3 years, like earlier this year, last year, in my inbox, just trying to be friendly, trying to get me to come over there and spar, telling me, oh, we ain't even, I don't know why we got a problem. I don't know why we beefing, woo-de-woo. And then turn around. Ray come out and talking about you telling him if he fight me, you want to be his main sparring partner. That sound like some hate.
We unpack. We unpack. We unpack. Coming to you live, Boxingego Unpack. Yeah. We unpack. We unpack. We unpack. Coming to you live. Seek and ye shall find. Shakur Stevenson does not look like he wants any smoke with Oshaquie Foster. Fans are outraged because this is not what Shakur really professes. And in this video, I'm going to break it down. We'll get unpacked and get through this. Should be a good one. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. In my last video, I posed a question because the fans run my channel. I mean, I run it, but y'all help me, right? And Ego's Army, I asked you in my last video, because I made a shorter video about this. Check that out. We're going to do a deep dive and talk about some different things in this one. So even if you've seen the last video, we getting unpacked. So this is a whole different ball game because I really get to get off. Now, in that last video, I said, if you want me to make this unpacked video where I can spend more time, show you more, go over more, then let me know in the comments. And y'all did that. So here we are. And let's jump right into it. Oshaquie Foster is a champion and a 2012 Olympic alternate who just had a performance with Stephen Coolboy Fulton. Now, Fulton is a good fighter who only lost to Naoya Inoue. And for real, you lost to Inoue. People have him number 1, 2, 3, depending on who you ask. But he's on the pound for pound list. So you're not going to get really shaded for losing to a top pound for pound. It's not like you fought a cab driver and just got beat up, right? So that's fine. Now, Fulton, I believe he was the favorite to beat Oshaquie Foster, and Foster showed up, showed a diverse set of tools, boxed well, used his attributes to the best of his ability. And for me, I enjoyed it. It was a very good card. Shout out to PBC. Thank you, Al Heyman and Amazon Prime. It was on the Lamont Roach fighting Pitbull Cruz card. Shane Mosley, his son, Shane Jr., he had a great fight with Jesus Ramos, and also the Oshaquie Foster. Now, mind you, the Lada fight was supposed to be versus Janabek, and stylistically, that could have been a good fight. So it would have been even better if Janabek didn't pop dirty. You know what I mean? But it was still a good card, even with Lada switching to the Johan Gonzalez. He got 2 clean knockdowns, and Lada's Lada. At 42 years old, he's still surgical. You know I'm surgical. You know I'm surgical with this. Jake! Surgical. Like DMX said. So you got what you came for. Surgery with the chainsaw. Right? But Oshaquie Foster definitely was one of the guys on the card who had a standout performance. Even more so than the main event, because the main event was like tooth and nail. Pitbull did some things good. Lamont Roach did some things good. Pitbull dropped off and did some things bad and like had muted rounds where he wasn't doing too much. Roach had things he didn't do good, right? Oshaquie had a dominant performance. Him and Lada had the most dominant performances. But Lada, again, that was a late replacement. So that's that. Now you got Ray Ford and Shakur Stevenson hating on Oshaquie Foster and his performance. And it's just sad to see, for real, because I don't like when the game is rigged. Let me explain. If Oshaquie went in there and got cooked by Fulton, right? Of course, those same people, Ray Fords and the Shakur Stevensons and fans, they would be like, Oshaquie suck, da. I try to tell y'all, I try to warn y'all, wompty, right? And that would be that. But then when he does good, now you have people who can't really hate on the performance, and now they're like undermining the performance. I seen Ray Ford say something like, you beat up a smaller guy. Okay, the smaller guy missed weight. You see how dumb that sound? It sounds dumb if you keep, okay, I've already went over this. I'm the best in the business and it's not even close. And I don't like to repeat myself, but some people didn't get the memo. I'm going to try to calm down and say this as clean as possible. In today's modern age of boxing, you have a lot of guys who, you remember playing Call of Duty online? And then the people who aren't in the trenches, they would hide in select spots on the map or hide on the roof by a satellite dish and then pick people off. Those people were called campers, right? People who are camping out, they memorize the maps. They know like little vulnerabilities where not many people could see them, blind spots have you, right? And they would camp out, right? In boxing, you have that going on. You got, I'm gonna call them campers because that's what we call when we was on the sticks, when we was playing video games. So we're gonna call it campers in boxing. You got campers who are fighting in a weight class that they really do not belong in at that given time. Is that loud and clear? So gone are the days where, like back in the day, if a welterweight fought a lightweight, that would be looked upon as like, you're crazy, because the welterweight would be Tommy Hearns or something, Sugar Ray Leonard. So you're crazy to move from lightweight and then want to fight, Roberto Duran or something. But Roberto Duran has generational power. But other guys less than Roberto Duran, you would be looked at as crazy if you wanted to move up. If you weren't as good as Roberto Duran or strong as Roberto Duran, to fight Tommy Hearns or to fight Ray Leonard, right? This modern age is different because there's people who they hit the number on the scale and then they balloon up. Then they gain 20, 30 pounds or whatever, right? So I don't even accept, because I know the truth, I don't even accept like, Oshaquie fought a smaller guy. He fought a smaller guy based on the divisions that Fulton has been fighting at. But I said this for years before the NOA fight, that Fulton was big, because I would see him with Danny Garcia, who was at the point probably fighting at least at 47, probably even 54, right? And he didn't look mad small next to Danny Garcia in boots. And he was allegedly fighting in them little booger weights. So I'm like, no, this dude he's gaining a lot of weight. Like before the Brandon Figueroa fights and stuff, he was big, right? So people like Ray Ford, I feel like that's you're hating, because we all know that just because fighters are fighting at weight classes, it's really not their real weight. Devin Haney, another person that comes to mind, right? Where Devin Haney, somehow, some way, he's making 35, 40, but then you look at him at 47, he looked filled out. His first fight at the full 147 with Brian Norman, low key, he looked bigger. He might have even weighed more than B Norm. So yeah, just it's better when you don't hate, when you give people credit. And Oshaquie definitely deserves credit for his performance. Moving on. So we here now. Oshaquie said, if you really want to make Ish happen, put yourself in a position where they have no choice but to fight or duck. One thing about me, I'm not finna do much talking or begging. I'm gonna put in work. I'm gonna fight whoever to make Ish happen. These dudes just be chatting. And I believe that was to Shakur Stevenson and others, right? Here's where it gets chippy. So Shakur Stevenson, this is what he said. Then after you beat him, quote, he got 3 losses. He worked at McDonald's. That's the guy who gives me my Big Mac and fries. Y'all getting out of hand. Bro, a lot of these fighters are delirious like Eddie Murphy. Oshaquie says, shut the F up, Goofy. Just say you scared. All these excuses are for the birds. 7 consecutive title appearances. Ain't nobody on your resume effing with me, and you know that, right? These fighters are delirious, delusional, a lot of them. Shakur is making it like he got a Floyd Mayweather, Manny Pacquiao resume, right? And people are denigrating that. Wow. Like, your resume is not brolic. And people are like, but Teofimo, what about, he ain't fought Teo yet. They ain't even had the press conference as of me recording this video. So I can't. Jake Paul was supposed to fight Gervonta Davis, no? He's supposed to fight Gervonta Davis. Where is that? Where is that? He pulled out the fight when Tank had legal drama. So in boxing, nothing is over till it's over. Nothing is over till it's over. So I'm not giving credit to Shakur for having a scheduled fight when we haven't seen the scheduled fight. And how many Keith Thurman and Fundora were supposed to fight? Didn't happen. Floyd Schofield and Joseph Jojo Diaz were supposed to fight. Didn't happen. Schofield and Shakur were supposed to fight. Didn't happen. Daniel Dubois and Joseph Parker was supposed to fight. Didn't happen. You dig? So yeah, I don't give premature credit when you ain't done it yet. So we have to go off of who Shakur has currently fought and who he beat. And he's talking about, oh, once you beat him, they say they worked at McDonald's. Bro, nobody outside of Golden Boy and some race fans put William Zepeda in no top conversations. Maybe when he was first knocking dudes out, maybe some people tried to. Maybe. But after the 2 Tevin Farmer fights, it was quiet for all that. Because Tevin Farmer won at least one of those rounds, or one of those fights, dropped him. And even if he didn't win, the perception was Zepeda had more work to do. So unfortunately for you, you fought a guy in Zepeda and acted like the world wanted to see it. The world wanted to see it when he hadn't fought Tevin Farmer. After he fought a black technical fighter and struggled 2 times, one time I think was even in Mexico, it was over for that. So yeah, you probably weren't going to get a whole bunch of credit for that. That's the way it goes. You can't allow for someone else to expose the fighter and then expect full credit for the performance. And for real, Shakur got lit up and hit way more than we were expecting. You know what I mean? So there's that. Back to it. Shout out to my dude from Twitter, High Level Boxing 22. He says Shakur is ducking Oshaquie Shock in broad daylight, shaking my head. Basically saying he gonna avoid him. He been doing this since they were at 130 pounds together, right? And somebody said Turkey's the lapdog after the Tio fight. I'm vacating my 135 pound title and staying at 140 pounds, right? Shakur says, now I'm in the driver's seat. I'm a lapdog. I don't got to vacate ish. I just fought my last fight. But Oshaquie's calling you out and urging for the fight. And he got the WBC interim. And Shakur just keep talking about other stuff. Telling Ray Ford to fight him and all this type of stuff. Right? Like, I'm not understanding. Oshaquie says, the boy's hurt. He hating like a muff, right? After Oshaquie won, this is Shakur. Shakur claims that William Zepeda would beat him. Facts. Bro, I've talked about this before. If there's one thing that I definitely dislike is when people make up something that is completely subjective, that is their own opinion, and not necessarily even an inherent great opinion, and then they scream facts. Just because you put facts at the end of some crap don't mean it's facts, right? I hate that. Like, people will argue that a pound of fat weighs a different amount than a pound of muscle, which makes absolutely no sense. And just the mere fact that the king of boxing talk said that, you got some dummies that are going to be in the comment section arguing like, wait, Ego, you're wrong. A pound of fat does weigh more than a pound of muscle. Just think about what that entails. If you have a pound of anything, it's a pound of that. Pound is just a unit of measurement. So if it's a pound of deli meat, a sliced ham, a pound of muscle, a pound of fat, a pound is still a pound. You know what I mean? But people would be like, a pound of fat weighs more than a pound of muscle. Facts. Just because you scream facts don't make it facts. That's what Shakur did. He picked an imaginary fight that is not scheduled, that has not happened, and said Zepeda would beat him. Facts. And everybody knows who he's referring to, so please don't try to play this semantics game with me, right? Because the timing, he said it right, during or after the Oshaquie fight. And I said what I said. Now tell that hating at Ninja come to 135 where he got 2 losses against bums. He says he's taking advantage of a natural 122 pounder. This ish don't impress me. I knew the strategy behind this move for real. Nice little bank on this hating at Ninja. Bro, Ray Ford and Shakur Stevenson sound a mess. They keep saying stuff like this. Fulton, he is the one that missed weight. That is a fact. But now Shakur saying that Foster is taking advantage of a natural 122 pounder. But I just told you there's old videos and pictures where Boxingego, the king of boxing talk, was seeing Fulton in his off season when he didn't have fights and he looked huge. There's interviews with Fulton and I want to say Andre Ward or something. I don't remember the exact interview, but it might be Ward on the podcast. And he was like, hey, how much you weighing on the, because I've talked to Andre Ward. I know Ward. I've talked to Ward in the past and he knows about weight and knows people be like ballooning up. But anyway, if I'm not mistaken, Fulton said something like 150, 60 or whatever. So why are we trying to act like Fulton is this tiny dude because he was fighting at 122? Why? Why? Why are we doing this? So Oshaquie is right. You are hating. You say you're not impressed, but then you claim you bet money without showing your ticket. You're saying you bet money on him. Bro, what type of ninjas, who raised y'all? Who raised people like this where you, like, for me, if I don't really up with somebody, I'm probably not even spending money on a fight or watching their fight. That's just me though. You know what I mean? Like if I don't like you and I say you a crab or I don't rock with you, I'm probably not putting money down for you to win. You know what I mean? Because I won't even, at that point, I won't even care about your fight for real. Especially if I wasn't doing this. Like right now, I'm a content creator, so it's my job to talk about the fight. It's not Shakur's job to watch every inherent fight. He don't get paid. He not streaming to watch all the fights. I get paid to watch the fights. You know what I mean? So they're making this stuff sound like it's insane to me. It is insane. They're treating Foster like the criminal, right? And he made the weight, and he's the one that dominated, right? And they're making it sound like he's this weight bully. It sounds crazy. It sounds absolutely crazy to make Foster seem like he's this huge weight bully and you ain't impressed by it when old boy missed weight by 2 pounds. Not like a couple ounces, 2 whole pounds. That's a lot of weight in these weight classes, right? And then somehow you've rationed your opinion out to make Foster appear like he picked on somebody who was small, right? Crazy. And then the bottom line is people don't care about all that. They don't. He's calling you out. It's a good fight, good stylistic matchup between two thinkers. One that's a boxer with a crazy reach, and you're trying to pawn him off on Ray Ford. Now, I did talk about this a little bit in my previous video, but in case you missed it, then I'll go over it again. But please go back and watch that initial video. But anywho, this screenshot you see is somebody commenting on Oshaquie after the performance, after his win. Then Ray Ford and Shakur are all in the comments, all in the video, and talking about Oshaquie Foster, right? Shakur Stevenson says, Oshaquie, you is a itch. I'm in Houston every single day. I would say it to your face any day of the week. I'm here right now. You suck a it. Like what are we talking about, bro? Like what is up with these boxers that the dialogue is just like bleep bleep. Like I don't have no problem with cussing, like, but it's to a point where you can't even interview Shakur Stevenson without him cussing, right? You can't read no tweets because anytime he diss somebody, it's just full of cuss words and name calling and sucker and this and blah blah blah. Like, what are we talking about? Like, I don't know. I'm glad to be from my generation. Like you look at 50 Cent, he beefing with Marlon Wayans, and they're going back, and it's funny. Like they both sending shots. I don't even think either one of them are really even cussing, and they're dissing each other with like certain digs. But Shakur do all this like tough talk, like you are it. I'll say it to your face. What are you talking about, bro? Does this generation feel that makes you like appear hard by putting a bunch of cuss words in the tweet? Like the man saying, let's fight in a sanctioned fight. And you're like, I'm in Houston every day. Come to the gym. Say it to my face. Like, I don't know. These YNs is tripping. That don't make you look tough to me. You want to look tough, fight the man in a fight. Well, like, you ain't Hassan Campbell. I hate you, let's F around and die. Like, you just saying you gonna do this and throw your life away. Like, you're a multi-millionaire. He just had his probably biggest win. Why would y'all even engage in any type of extracurricular beef? We just talking about the boxing stuff. Anywho, I had to get that off my chest. He goes on to say, and that mandatory-ish don't mean nothing. You can have that belt. You know how much money I'm making this fight. More than you'll ever make in your life. Now say please, little boy. Shakur going out bad, yo. I don't care what none of y'all talking about. He going out bad. Here, so you can see it. I just want to enlarge it real quick. Shaquie, you was I'm in Houston every single day. I will say it to your face. What are we talking about? That mandatory-ish don't mean nothing. You could have that at belt. Bro, when did Shakur start talking like this? You can have my belt. Do you know how much money I'm making? The game is trash right now. Completely chopped. I don't know who done told, like, I don't know what it is. And the funny thing is, Gervonta Davis made way more money than all these dudes. And they be talking the craziest. He made more money than Devin Haney. He made more money than Ryan. He made more money than Shakur. For sure, Shakur. Right? And Shakur talking like he been getting the biggest bags. You are with Top Rank. They don't even pay like that. Like Top Rank, they not gonna, like Bob Arum, he's so into the numbers. And it's like, just like your big bro, Terrence Crawford, Top Rank, they were paying Crawford cool, like real good. You know what I mean? But their version of real good. He getting more now that he with Turkey and fighting Canelo and stuff, right? Or when he went to PBC and fought Errol. They're just bigger fights, bigger budgets. And you had like, what, like how many fights away from Top Rank has he had? 2, pulled out of 1 for an injury. And you like, man, look at my checks. My checks are just crazy. Like, what does money have to do with it, bro? What does money have to do with, like, he's trying to fight you. You doing everything but say, hey, let me handle this with Teofimo. I already told you that I'm not staying at 140. My little bro, Keyshawn, can have the belt, and I'm coming to 35. This dude got the WBC interim. He might be your mandatory next, right? And you saying everything but that. You saying he can't get to me until he go through Ray Ford. Bro, Shakur looks very bad. There's no other way to put it. He looks hella bad because you're doing things that don't really paint you into a favorable light. Like all these brothers in boxing, Crawford's your big bro, cool. There's no like need for you to fight him, way different weight classes. Cool. That's your big bro. But then Keyshawn, you're not from the same state as him. You've been in the same weight class as him, but then you wouldn't fight him. Talking about he's your brother. Like Zab Judah and Floyd Mayweather were cool and they still fought and gave us a great fight. Then you got Ray Ford and you like, yeah, Ray Ford, you making little silent pacts with these dudes. Like Ray Ford's my little bro. I trained with him and Jake Paul for a Tank fight that didn't happen. So that didn't even work out. We didn't even get Tank beat or whatever we were trying to do. Right. And then now you're like, don't worry about it, Ray Ford. He can't get to me unless he go through you. Now you giving him your meal and talking about I'm on to bigger and better things, Ray Ford. So you handle my light work. This is boxing look whack. I don't care. I don't know. I might have to start watching darts or whatever they be doing in the UK. Boxing just look whack. With stuff like this going on, and then you're beefing with Oshaquie, you're beefing with Ryan Garcia, you're scheduled to fight Teofimo. So that right there already looked crazy because no matter, oh, I'm in Houston right now. What do you want to happen there? Like, what if he really pulled up? What if he pulled up with a bunch of people, you have a bunch of people, and you supposed to be preparing for a fight? This don't really sound intelligent. Like, you're about to make millions to fight Teofimo, and you're daring people to come to your job and talking greasy, and your job is your gym, you know what I mean? And you're daring people to pull up on you. Like, this is crazy. This is like real, like adolescent type of high school type of stuff. It don't make you look cool, by the way. And for me, any man that is going to forego millions of dollars, multi-millions of dollars, a much needed name on your resume, like a Teofimo, for some petty street beef or to talk tough, it's foolish, bro. It's like Aaron Hernandez, you play with Tom Brady, you're in the Super Bowl, and you want to be gangster and go back home and like do knucklehead stuff. It's just not really commendable to me. I don't know who raised y'all, but to me, all that type of stuff don't really impress me. You know what I mean? You should be preparing for probably your biggest fight, I would say, with Teofimo, most anticipated fight. And you have a scheduled fight. You beefing with Oshaquie. And then on top of that, you're not even beefing with him like, let me get Teo out the way and I'm coming back to the division. I'll fight you. You beef with him and try to alley-oop him to Ray Ford. And y'all think this is like supposed to make boxing fans happy. And then you talking about you can have that at belt. You see how much money I'm going to be making? When was that what it was about? You know what I mean? Because Jake Paul been making money in boxing too, but then you look at hardcore boxing fans and not everybody has accepted Jake Paul, but he make a lot of money. So it's like these fighters got to understand and like they have no identity. They got to figure out who they want to be. Like you have actual skill. You're an actual boxer. You just started probably making better money, you know, dealing with the people you're dealing with now. And then now you're gloating and bragging like you Richie Rich. Very weird stuff. Now, Oshaquie did speak on the beef and like kind of what happened. And I want to go over that for you guys.
Yeah, fuck, dude. I'm trying to get at him. So all of us was the crew. Me, Keyshawn, Shakur. We was all kicking it together. We didn't have no bad blood. We had little shit where we got into it back then, but it wasn't nothing like for real until the bad blood came when him and Ray Ford started riding each other nuts and stuff. And instead of him staying neutral, cause he in my inbox and he trying to be my friend. I don't mess with these guys. I don't talk to these guys.
Who's that? Is that who's in your inbox? Ray
Shakur would be in my inbox, man. Like last 3 years, like earlier this year, last year, in my inbox, just trying to be friendly, trying to get me to come over there and spar, telling me, oh, we ain't even, I don't know why we got a problem. I don't know why we beefing, woo-de-woo. And then turn around. Ray come out and talking about you telling him if he fight me, you want to be his main sparring partner. That sound like some hating ass shit to me. You telling this dude you want to be right here with him if he fight me and you want to be like basically his helping hand, but you in the background texting me and messaging me trying to be cool and trying to be, you know what I mean? Like, and then I heard through the wind you was already asking people about their fighters sparring me and did they fighters beat me up? Like, you know what I mean? They checking over here to see, like, you know what I mean?
Wow. So that's Oshaquie Foster doing an interview with Ring Champs. And he's saying that Shakur is basically two-faced. He was like, Shakur's been in my inbox for the last 3 years. And if it's true, I'm sure Foster can show the DM thread or whatever to prove if he's lying or whatnot. And he's saying in this interview that Shakur's like, why are we even beefing? We ain't really got a problem like that. Da. He was like, you should come to my gym in Houston. We should spar, get some work in together, blah, blah, blah. And he was like, I don't know, maybe entertaining it until he said he's seen Shakur and Ray Ford. And then they kind of like started team up where Ray Ford was beefing with Foster. And then he was saying Shakur at some point, I guess, said he wants to help Ray Ford in training camp to beat Foster. And then he said he heard through the grapevine that Shakur was sending out the word, trying to see what was happening with Foster, people who sparred Foster. He was trying to get the intel on if he was getting beat up in sparring. So he's just like, who moves like that? And I agree with him. You look crazy if you in this man's DM and bro, I see. I didn't even want to have to do this, but y'all made me. There is a boxer. This is how fake this game is, bro. There is a boxer who publicly has taken jabs at me at some point in time, and they were in my inbox in the same way and trying to like keep it peaceful or whatever. And then when they got left on red, they started to diss me and block me and wop, wop, wop. You see what I'm saying? So there's a lot of people like this where behind the scenes, they're trying to patch it up with you or keep it cool, or that's what they're saying. But then you look at Shakur Stevenson and this man saying you've been in his inbox, you were trying to keep it peaceful, you were trying to work with him and spar with him, and then online you like, you will say it, come say it to my face at my gym and I'll destroy you. And what are we talking about? So I agree with Oshaquie. That looked crazy.
I don't mess with these guys. I don't talk to these guys.
Who's that? Is that who's in your inbox? Ray
Shakur would be in my inbox, man. Like last 3 years, like earlier this year, last year, in my inbox, just trying to be friendly, trying to get me to come over there and spar, telling me, oh, we ain't even, I don't know why we got a problem, I don't know why we beefing, woo-de-woo. And then turn around, Ray come out and talking about you telling him if he fight me, you want to be his main sparring partner. That sounds like some hating ass shit to me. You telling this dude you want to be right here with him if he fight me, and you want to be like basically his helping hand, but you in the background texting me and messaging me trying to be cool and trying to be, you know what I mean? Like, and then I heard through the wind you was already asking people about their fighters sparring me and did they fighters beat me up? Like, you know what I mean? They checking over here to see, like, you know what I mean?
So when you said Shakur being your next opponent, you really meant that.
That's the fight I want, you know what I mean? That's the fight I want.
But if you don't get the Shakur fight, I mean, Ray Ford is somebody that you do want to mix it up with and get in the ring with.
Yeah, but I want to get his daddy first.
Wow. He said, I want to get his daddy Shakur first. And to be honest, this is saying a little something about Shakur's character, because I don't have access to these fighters' DMs or personal DMs, but Oshaquie, from what I've seen, hasn't put out a bunch of lies that we know about, right? So I take a man at face value until you give me a reason almost not to trust you. Oshaquie hasn't put out no like madness, in my opinion, to make me look like, oh, he a liar. So the man saying Shakur is keeping it friendly in PC, or he was, maybe not now, but earlier this year and last year, in the last couple of years, in his DMs, behind the scenes, trying to work with him. But then now look at what it's evolved to and how Shakur's acting. Another thing, you had Shakur, this is why I'm saying characters being shown. Shakur, who else did he do? When he went to Gervonta Davis's fight, he ran into the back and he's super cheesing from ear to ear, smiling with Tank in his locker room. And then he started talking about, I want to fight Tank and I'll whoop Tank and I'm the best lightweight, blah, blah, blah. And in that relationship, soured or whatever is going on. And then he was like, don't ask me about Tank no more. Don't mention Tank no more. I don't care. I'm over it. Blah, blah, blah. And then weeks later, months later, whatever, he went into a camp with Ray Ford for Jake Paul versus Gervonta Davis. What are we doing? Like, if you don't want your name associated with Tank anymore, then why would you jump in Jake Paul's Gervonta Davis camp at the time? Because that's who he was fighting. Why would you even do that? Why would you think that would be a good look? Right? And Oshaquie just told you Ray Ford started dissing him, and then Shakur told Ray Ford, I want to be your right-hand man and I want to jump in camp with you, right? I can play it again.
Yeah, fuck, dude. Like, last 3 years,
Why?
trying to get me to come over there and spar, telling
Listen
me,
to the
oh,
Ray
we
Ford
ain't
part.
even, I don't know why we got a problem, I don't know why we beefing, woo-de-woo. And then turn around, Ray come out and talking about you telling him if he fight me, you want to be his main sparring partner. That sound like some hating ass shit to me. You telling this dude you want to be right here with him if he fight me, and you want to be like basically his helping hand.
Boom. You said to Ray Ford when he started beefing with Oshaquie Foster that you want to be in his camp, you want to be his main sparring partner to help him prepare to beat Oshaquie Foster. That's what he just said. This is exactly what Shakur did with Gervonta Davis. Ran over to Jake Paul in Puerto Rico to try to help him to try to beat Gervonta Davis, a guy he said he wanted to fight. It ain't looking good, bro. I only speak the truth. That don't look good. So why does Shakur keep going to everybody's, like, why does he want to go to everybody's camp to help them beat somebody? Like, and then talking about money and stuff, like, don't you have your own career that you are working with and working on? Why are you so in a rush to help other people? Like, man, I want to help Bud in the Canelo camp. I want to help Ray Ford try to beat Oshaquie. I want to help Jake Paul try to beat Gervonta Davis. This is weird behavior. I've been in boxing for a long time. When you really get to that Mayweather level, Mayweather, like, when you're like a real A-side, you move like an A-side. Floyd Mayweather ain't hopping in all these people's camps to help them beat their high-profile name. Why would you? That would be no different than me going on some little YouTube channel to be on their podcast. What's in it for me? You know what I mean? Like, so Shakur don't even move. He has all these brotherhoods and brothers and fraternities in boxing and certain guys he don't want to fight. And then he trying to help other people to help. It's like, I don't know if it's narcissistic and you feel that if they win, you help them win or something because you were in their camp. Like, man, my big brother Bud, he whooped Canelo, so it's like I whooped Canelo. Because keep in mind, Shakur's the same dude who was saying stuff like, if me and Pacquiao fought, I would beat a prime Pacquiao. When he was 18, 19, he was talking about he would beat Floyd Mayweather. He said if him and Canelo were the same size, he would whoop on Canelo. So maybe he's vicariously living through other people's training camps. Like, if Ray Ford knock out Foster, then it's kind of like I have power. People keep saying I'm pillow hands. So if I help Bud get a knockout, it's like I got the knockout. It just sounds like it sounds like some real insecure stuff going on, bro. Like, you want to help, you keep trying to help people's camp and all that. You help Jake Paul beat the guy you say you want to beat. You want to help Ray Ford beat the guy who's calling you out. Looking shaky, baby. I don't know. It don't seem right for me. And I don't pick the size and play size and do stuff, but I will keep it real. Oshaquie had a great performance and is being undermined. So Shakur looks like a hater. Ray Ford looks like a hater. That is not a good thing to look like you just hating. Like, for me, I feel like it makes you more of a man when, even if it's your enemy, when you just keep it real. That's why I always keep it real on these fighters, right? Some people, men particularly, in an effort to look masculine, they actually look more feminine by not doing what a masculine person would do. Don't let that go over your head. If you really want to exude strength and masculinity, then you have to do what a masculine male, an alpha male would do. Like, I'm the lion, I'm the king of the jungle. I don't look, everything is food to me, or just passerbyers. When it comes to what I do, I don't look at anyone as competition, except for the man in the mirror. Hand over heart. No one is competition for me. because they're not me. They can't do what I do. So I look at it like a lion look at it. That animal, that bird's just over there. Like, I don't really care. You know what I mean? You're either prey or you better pray. You know what I mean? Like, I'm the king of the jungle. So I realize that. And I feel like when you're a true like alpha, you don't do certain things. Like, you don't do two-faced stuff. A man got to be congruent with what he says and what he puts out and his words. You know what I mean? Just that type of stuff. And Shakur seems all over the place. How you gonna be in the dude's DMs talking about we should work together, and then you riding so hard for Ray Ford? If he got beef, that don't mean it's your beef. You know what I mean? That's my honest opinion. And then why are you beefing with all these people knowing you have a fight lined up? And finally, I will say this, which I said in my last video. Shakur being the boogeyman, that's over. He was a self-proclaimed boogeyman, but you can't be the boogeyman and you allowing people to call you out viciously, and then you're turning them down before it even gets to negotiations. And these are valid fights. I'm not talking about some like crackhead in front of 7-Eleven is saying he want to fight the world champion. We're not talking about even Creed 3 where the dude was in prison and he just get out and won a title shot. Dame or whatever. That in real life, that probably wouldn't happen. You ain't getting out of prison getting a title. That's like Ike Ibeabuchi went to prison. He ain't getting no title shot. He still ain't getting no title shot. You feel me? So we're not talking about this. This man had an actual good performance. He's a good fighter. People are bragging about his performance and they see the vision a little bit more. He has a major promoter, top rank backing him. He's calling you out, and he's a WBC interim, so he'll probably be your mandatory at some point. But what does Shakur Stevenson do? He says, take that belt. I don't care about that belt. That's basically what you're saying. You can have the belt. You know how much money I'm making? Horrible look. Let me know what you think for more deep detailed videos. Listen, there's a lot of people. I pioneered this game. What can I say? I'm the best. And it's not even close. I pioneered this game. I gave you something to think about. A lot of people put out quick 3-4 minute videos. We don't always do that because sometimes I got to BTA and I got to really get busy. So if you like this Unpacked series, show your support. Shout out to everybody on the Cash Apps, the Super Chats, and all that good stuff. Multiple ways to support. Hit the description. We Unpacked. Live streaming can be tough, which is why I use StreamYard. Click the link in the description for StreamYard, which is an awesome tool that enables you to set up your stream with ease of use. Get great results with live streaming. It's what I use. Stream to social media with ease with StreamYard. Live streaming is here to stay. Engage with your audience using StreamYard. Great way to reach out to your audience and connect. So you need a tool that can do that. If you're new to YouTube and you're struggling to get views, one tool I can provide to you is TubeBuddy. I've been on YouTube over 10 years. I use TubeBuddy daily to crank out videos just like this one that you're watching. Learn how the pros do it with TubeBuddy. YouTube receives a lot of traffic, which also means a lot of creators, a lot of people putting out content. So you need to learn the ropes so you know how to separate yourself, especially if you're new. But even if you're a pro, use TubeBuddy. The link is in the description. Get more views, more subscribers, and a higher click-through rate. So ultimately,